Hello, I'm Annette Young and welcome to the 51%, a show about women reshaping our world. Coming up, millions of women across the globe set to be affected by a decision by US President Donald Trump to withdraw funding to a UN body that provides family planning services. Also, the extraordinary risk that women refugees from the Central African Republic face in every aspect of daily life. And footy fever, how women's soccer is rapidly gaining popularity here in France. But we begin in the United States, where in a major blow to the United Nations, the Trump administration has announced it's cutting funding to the UN Population Fund. The UNFPA provides family planning services to more than 150 countries across the world. But now Washington says it's suspending its contribution, accusing the agency of promoting abortion while participating in a forced sterilisation program in China. Claims that the agency have strongly denied, as Shirley Sitbon reports.
Creating safe zones for Syrian women in refugee camps, sending doctors to families hit by the Ebola virus in Guinea, providing medical assistance to pregnant women in Burma, and giving women access to safe abortions. This is the type of action the UN Population Fund has led in 150 countries across the world. The US has been one of the UN agency's founders and main donors. It's now ceasing all contributions. The Trump administration accuses the fund of taking part in forced abortions in China. In a letter to the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, the State Department wrote,
"The UN Population Fund supports or participates in the management of a program of coercive abortion or involuntary sterilization."
An accusation the fund denies.
The UNFPA refutes this claim, as all of its work promotes the human rights of individuals and couples to make their own decisions, free of coercion or discrimination.
The administration has warned it would curtail its international contributions and diplomacy budget by a massive 28%. This is the first effective cut, but not the last. The U.S. is the UN's top donor. For President Trump, it's contributing too much. Cutting spending isn't the only reason the administration will no longer fund the agency. Its priority now is to promote conservative values, and allowing women to end their pregnancy or even informing them about abortion is not one of them. The UN Population Fund says the U.S. contribution has helped save tens of thousands of women, and the decision to drop it will endanger many lives.
Now it's become one of the world's forgotten conflicts. Forced to flee violence in the Central African Republic, thousands of refugees are now languishing in a camp on the border between Chad and Sudan. For the women living there, every day is one of survival as they face the threat of rape, even doing something as simple as going to the toilet or collecting water. Our team on the ground sent us this report on the efforts being made to make their lives safer while being able to provide for their families.
Isolated in the north of the country, a part of the Central African Republic disappears into the horizon. A camp, left to fend for itself, has been plunged into a deepening humanitarian crisis. In Batangafo, women like Laurentine struggle to survive every day. They fled the Seleka, a predominantly Muslim rebel coalition that still rages in the area. Laurentine keeps her family alive thanks to her small business.
What I earn at the moment is just enough for me to eat. I don't have enough to fix my house. I also have to buy school supplies for my children so they can study.
The women here strive to make a living, so they created a treasury to group together their savings. Faced with adversity, these Christian and Muslim women stick together. Each week, they each contribute a small amount. Then 5 of them receive 10,000 CFA francs or 15 euros. A system that's based on trust and solidarity.
We created this association because women don't have work and don't have money. Many women don't have anything because they've lost their husbands or they've been raped.
Rape, a permanent nightmare that haunts the nights of these survivors. Many continue to suffer, like Hermine. The young woman feels that she has no freedom living in this camp.
I passed some armed men, and they asked me if I was a Muslim. If I'd been a Christian, they would have killed me. But instead, they said I just had to sleep with them.
To increase the security of women, aid workers have built latrines. Being able to use the toilets inside the camp has reduced the number of women getting raped. But it's not enough. Women still need to leave the camp to fetch water, often walking for kilometers in the bush to reach a watering hole, putting them in an extremely vulnerable situation. For the 30,000 or so inhabitants remaining in the area, the war is far from over, especially for the women of Batangafo.
To Colombia now, where FARC rebels are in the process of laying down their arms in the wake of that December peace deal that ended the 50-year conflict. A third of those fighting were women who say they were treated as equals. But will this equality also extend to their new lives as civilians? Rebecca Rosman takes a look.
After a 50-year conflict, these women have put down their weapons and are adjusting to civilian life in rural transition camps. Among the many firsts for the former combatants, the opportunity to experience motherhood. For years, the FARC discouraged pregnancies among its ranks, and those that did conceive were often forced to leave their children behind. But now, a baby boom. More than 100 former soldiers have become pregnant since a peace deal was struck last year.
I'm pregnant. It's not something I had planned with the peace process going on and all that. I thought of studying and preparing myself first. But well, I get to do both, study and be a mother too.
These so-called children of peace have struck a chord with Colombians across the country, who are lending a hand to the expectant mothers, sending supplies including diapers and clothes to the camps. Meanwhile, others say they want to focus exclusively on getting an education.
I want to continue studying. First, I want to finish my baccalaureate, and then I want to study so many things, like philosophy, and communications, and teaching.
But some women are stepping back into society with trepidation, fearing they had greater equality with the FARC than they will in rural society. Nevertheless, they say they want to fight for women's rights in their communities, including equal pay, the right to work outside the home, and access to schooling. Their arms may have come down, but their sense of empowerment and drive for equality will continue as these women adjust to post-conflict life.
And finally, women's soccer has been played here in France for the better part of a century. Yet since the 2011 World Cup, the number of licensed female players in this country has reached 100,000 this year. That's up from 18,000 25 years ago. Now, much of this is owed to the victories of Les Bleus, the national women's team, and with more people watching than ever before, the expectations for the players have never been higher. Pierre Derrieux has more.
Supporters on the edge of their seats. Marseille's women's football team, wearing the white home colours, is playing Paris. But whatever the end score, the Olympique de Marseille players have already won over their audience.
It's fantastic. This is the football I love, really. There's no protesting the referee's decisions, no cheating. They focus on the quality of the game. It's a real show, a beautiful show.
There's a great atmosphere. We're here to cheer for them, to support them. If they win, that's great. And if they lose, well, that's a shame, but it's okay.
Final score, 2-0 for Marseille, to the delight of the 1,000 or so supporters. The heroes of the day, most of them professional players, take the time to greet fans, waiting to meet their idols. But probably the most famous of them all is Alex Morgan. Widely considered as the best female football player in the world, the 27-year-old American attacker is also a brand name and a social media star, with more than 10 million followers on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. After signing with the OL Lyons Football Club in December, she also starred in a reality TV web series following the athlete and her day-to-day life.
My apartment. It's good to have you here.
With a 25,000 euros monthly salary, Morgan is one of the highest paid female football players in the world. Although nowhere near the seven-figure salaries made by her male counterparts, it's a big investment for the French club and its president, but with an even bigger financial return.
Today, in terms of sponsorship for the team, we make as much as a French Ligue 2 male team would make, and often much more. So we can tell that big companies and brands want to invest in women's football and invest in values like gender equality and quality.
Thanks to sponsorships, the team boasts a 5 million euros budget, and players get to enjoy the same perks as their male counterparts.
We were playing in Wolfsburg yesterday and got to fly home on our own private plane in the evening. It's ideal conditions. We're really treated like royalty.
We're in the game. We're in the game.
And for the first time this year, female teams are also playable in a famous football video game franchise. Perhaps a sign that the game has, indeed, finally changed.
Great to see, and that's it for now. And if you'd like to comment on what you've just seen, you can head to our Facebook page, that's France24.51%, or do send us a tweet at _51%. Thanks for your feedback so far, and please do keep those comments coming in. So until our next show, bye for now.